You're watching Meet the Movie Press, and coming up, we're going to be talking about Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman 2, Ready Player One, and Adam Sandler. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Meet the Movie Press.
Wow, look at that reception. Welcome to Meet the Movie Press. It's a little bit later, but it's going to be that much greater, folks. I'm your host.
Is it really?
Jeff Sneider, editor-in-chief of the tracking board, tracking-board.com, at the InSneider on Twitter and Instagram. With me, as always,
is Simon Thompson, Sleepyhead.
Sleepyhead Simon
That's
Thompson.
my spy name, Sleepyhead. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shelby Simon.
I'll tell you that extra hour of beauty sleep that you have taken on my watch
Didn't work. Jesus Christ.
See, I was going to say it did work, but you took it in another direction there.
Yeah. I mean, fucking look at me.
Well, I'm just glad that you could join us.
Yeah, I'm glad that I could join you too.
And so I guess I get to control the show.
I guess you do.
Since I have
no
the
pad
list.
this week.
I have prepared. All right, let's see.
List.
Let's start with the big casting news this week.
What happened this week, Jeffrey?
Pedro Pascal.
I saw this.
Joining the cast of Wonder Woman Dos.
Yes.
Now, oddly enough, this guy was in the Wonder Woman pilot. Mm-hmm. That was shot in 2011, I think? I don't even know. So that's kind of funny. He's worked with Patty Jenkins before.
He has.
We don't know what he's going to be playing yet. We don't know who the character is.
I think it's not going to be Wonder Woman.
You can rule that out right now. You heard it here on Meet the Movie Press first, folks.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal will not be playing Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
He's joining Kristen Wiig, who's playing Cheetah. I would imagine that Pedro Pascal is playing someone who's maybe a villain of some kind.
I was thinking villain, but I was wondering if we would replace the Chris Pine character.
A love interest? I guess you never know. From what I understood, there were two, decently sized male roles for Wonder Woman 2, and one was like a slippery con man type, and the other was like an imposing businessman. And really, I suppose he could play
either.
Both. I'd heard that they were looking at Riz Ahmed for that role. But I never knew how that was going to happen, with the Venom stuff. Since he's got a major role in Venom. What do you think of Pedro Pascal? You a fan?
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah,
big fan.
I really like him. I love Narcos.
I thought he was he was underserved in Kingsman sequel.
Maybe underserved, but I liked him. I like what he brought to the table there. He had he got a lot of mileage out of that. What was it? A whip?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's filming Triple Frontier right now, I believe, with Ben Affleck and Oscar Isaac. So it's got a big Netflix movie coming. I think that this makes sense on a number of levels. And, of course, there is speculation out there, maybe put out by me, that Chris Pine is probably going to return as Steve Trevor.
I think that's kind of a given.
That's what I think is going to happen.
I've spoken to him over the last couple of months a number of times. And
look at you. What are you on the phone? You call him after a day?
Chris, what's going up, bro? What's my favorite pine? He's my favorite pine.
Of course.
Over the other pines.
Like the place beyond the pines?
Yeah,
Never mind.
And the air freshener in the car.
Yes, okay. So you've talked to him all the time.
A number of times.
He's probably watching right now. Hi, Chris.
We're always BFFing. So he basically will not discount the fact that he will return. So I'm kind of thinking that he will return.
Yeah.
He got off that plane. Spoiler. He got off that plane.
We never saw a body. No. These are comic movies. You got to see a body.
Photos or it didn't happen.
Exactly.
So
he's been, I feel like his people have been a little cagey about what he's up to this summer. They can explain things a whole number of different ways in the DCEU. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Like, hey, what happened when you left one of the good movies that the DCU did?
I don't know why.
Took a day off.
I mean, part of the reason Wonder Woman was good is that it had real stakes like that, and it had that big Steve Trevor death climax in the end. But you never know. Never know what these things.
Who doesn't love a good climax? People in the chat room are saying that you and I, by the way, are like the Statler and Waldorf of the Muppets.
I honestly wouldn't have known that was their names. I was like, who?
Really?
The
two old guys.
Statler and
the two
Waldorf.
old white guys. Because you know what? We need more of those in Hollywood.
Right.
Just saying. Lack of representation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of comic book movies.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel started production.
Literally around the corner from my house.
Really? Wait, have you seen things? Are you like flying
I've
your
seen
drone
things.
up there?
I'm not flying my drone. By drone, I mean my penis. No.
You're always taking it in that direction here, Simon.
Always in the
we
direction
don't
of my
need
penis.
to hear about that.
No. Yes, in my neighborhood. I was wondering, what are they filming? And then I went home and it's on Twitter going, Captain Marvel's filming. And I was like, holy shit, that's like near where I live.
So did you get any good spy photos?
No. I was walking my dog.
I don't know. Maybe
I can't multitask.
maybe Brie Larson has a dog and she has to walk it
Maybe
during
she
the
does.
shoot, and
maybe she'll be
maybe you run
my
into each
BFF
other.
dog walking.
You never know.
Yeah, but no. So it's filming not far
So
from where I live.
we've learned that Agent Coulson is returning. Clark
do.
Gregg,
Yes.
Lee Pace, and Jaimin Hansu. Yeah,
Great.
exciting stuff happening in the MCU.
Well, I mean, I was wondering whether they were going to bring Agent Coulson at all, because Shield's kind of
Clark
done-
Gregg's got to eat.
That is true, and he's not doing a lot else. But no, I mean, I like his character. He was kind of underserved, like Andy Serkis's character.
Yeah, but
Always
it's like
underserved in the MCU.
Doesn't this take away from his death scene? Like if they keep bringing this guy back,
Is anybody really dead in
I
the
know
MCU?
this is set in the '90s, though. I get it's a prequel. It would make sense that he would be around.
Means that they can put Samuel L. Jackson in there, maybe with two eyes.
What else happened? What else happened with Captain Marvel this week? I feel like there was another like element, like something new. No.
No, not really.
No.
There was the photo early in the week where it was the director and Brie in a Top Gun style
can't
plane.
think of it.
That was about it.
Okay. Well, speaking of comic book movies,
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix
Yes.
and New Mutants,
Yes. I
both
saw
got
you tweeting about this week.
significantly delayed.
Yeah. And people suggesting that maybe New Mutants could go to the streaming service.
Yeah, and which I've been suggesting for a while.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know either. I think it honestly it seems like it's going to be more R-rated. It seems like that's what they're going in and making it scarier and beefing it up with that kind of stuff. I'm working on a New Mutant story. We'll see if I can actually pin it down.
Okay.
But there's a lot of interesting stuff happening with that one.
See, I don't know if it'll go to the streaming service because I think the streaming service is going to be very much a family focus.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
and
New
I'm
Mutants
thinking
would
putting an
debut there.
R-rated thing would maybe terrify the crap out of kids.
Right.
Hey, Mama, can I watch New Mutants? Sure, honey. Ow, what the fuck?
And so Dark Phoenix also moved from November to February,
Yeah.
kind of taking advantage of that February corridor where we saw Deadpool debut and now Black Panther. We still don't know who Jessica Chastain is playing, do we?
No.
I heard a rumor this week.
Okay.
Yeah. What if, and forget the pronouns here,
Wolverine.
what if Jessica Chastain was playing Mr. Sinister?
Ooh.
That's the rumor.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
You've got my attention.
I don't know what that means. I don't know who Mr. Sinister really is. But I think that's a possibility. It's a possibility. And it's not the only rumor I want to throw out there today.
Okay.
So,
Holy shit.
yeah, exactly. I
shouldn't have slept in.
It was
This
a
is-
busy week for the Snider.
I was going to say.
The big thing that I was going to drop, I huddled up with some folks, maybe one of whom is watching right now.
Oh.
And they told me to stand down, to exercise caution.
Right.
And in the intervening hours, since I tweeted out that tease, I've learned that this is not going to ultimately happen.
Right.
But the rumor that was sort of plaguing Hollywood for the last couple of weeks was that Matt Damon was going to be the villain in Spider-Man Homecoming 2.
Ooh.
I'm told he passed, which is disappointing because don't you think Matt Damon would really benefit from a role like that?
I think he would benefit, but I think he would be a horrible fit.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He would overshadow everything else in the movie.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Listen, maybe that's true. Maybe I'm just like, is he going to get cast as a superhero these days? I feel like he's kind of destined to play a supervillain in something soon.
Yeah, but right now I don't think that's. I wouldn't put him in Superman or Spider-Man.
That may be the case. It's surrounding him with a bunch of like sort of teen co-stars. So maybe he'd be better off in a more adult.
I would see him in more of a
world.
kind of a Batman-y kind of Justice
I just feel like
League-y-
Matt Damon has had a bunch of flops in a row.
Yeah.
You know, with downsizing and Suburbicon, and he could really use a guaranteed hit.
Yep.
And, you know, to be drafted... Again, I don't know what the villain role is. To be drafted into the Marvel Universe, so that would have been really interesting for him without having to sort of shoulder the load, you know. It's obviously still Peter Parker's movie,
Yeah.
Tom Holland. I don't know. It would have been interesting, but I thought it was going to happen. I thought I was going to come on the show and say, hey, Matt Damon's being eyed, but apparently he has passed.
Yeah, I wouldn't see him... Not in that place in the MCU.
Okay, that's fair.
I would rather see him in a DCU movie. Mm-hmm. Definitely something darker, something heavier, something with more grit. I'd rather see him in that.
I don't know if I'm Damon, if I want to go to the DCU with the Affleck thing. I don't know if I want to follow in his footsteps. I may want to go to my another corner of the comic book movie wars.
Batman versus Superman, Good Will Hunting.
Good Bruce Wayne.
Good Bruce Wayne.
Good Bruce Wayne. All right. Let's see. Speaking of superheroes and whatnot, Hugh Jackman
Yes.
lined up his next thing this week. It's called
The Greatest Showman 2.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
it?
surprised they're not doing a sequel
I'm
to that one. It
amazed
made
they're not.
It's made so much money.
Yeah.
They could just find another adventure for him
This
to
is
go on.
also me.
This is me too.
This is me too.
Bad Education, it hails from the director of Thoroughbreds. Did you
Yep.
see Thoroughbreds?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
Yeah. Not enough people saw that movie.
Yeah, it's a
was
little
almost
thinly
literally-
written. I felt like it ended a little abruptly and could have used another act. It felt like a play, but I liked it.
Yeah. Do you see? I think for that, I think they kind of thought that it might be left open for something else. And obviously, it's not going to happen.
Right, I see.
Because
I
of,
see. Maybe
obviously-
they had something else planned.
Yeah, and I think they were
maybe.
kind of going to take it on. So I think that's why it ended that way. I mean, I kind of liked the way that it ended because it was definitive and it was sudden. But I kind of think they also kind of were like, well, we could pick it up. But I liked it. I mean, I was literally the only person in the movie theater watching that.
I'm just excited, about like what does Hugh Jackman's future look like? Because he has the Jason Reitman movie.
Yeah.
Coming out, and now he's signed on to this movie. I just think he could be an interesting actor over the next 10, 15 years. You know, now that he's not sort of tied down to being Wolverine anymore.
I would like to see him.
Do you like Jackman the actor?
I do.
What would you like to see him do?
I'd like to see him do more theatre. And I'd love to see him do. I'd love to see him do a really good TV role. I'd love to see him do a TV role. I was thinking the other day. I'll tell you what. I'd love to see him do. The Walking Dead needs a bit of a fucking injection right now.
Fucking soft right now.
No, I'm deadly
You want
serious.
Hugh Jackman to go to like the 20th season of The Walking
I
Dead?
would love to see Hugh Jackman in the 23rd season of The Walking Dead. Come on, you've got to kill off Andrew Lincoln's character.
We disagree here.
Really? But you never
You're
watched
talking
The Walking
about
Dead.
Hugh Jackman, replacing Andrew Lincoln?
In the lead.
That's beneath him.
Is it though?
Yes, it is.
Okay. In 2025, and we're celebrating Hugh Jackman joining
No.
the cast of The Walking Dead. No, but I would love to see him do a TV show. I would love to see him lead a TV show.
I could see like a Breaking Bad style TV show where it's like Hugh Jackman getting a little bit dark. No?
Well, he's done dark. He's done dark and tortured. I would really like to see him do something a bit different. We're not going to see him doing rom-coms. That's going to go out. Hugh Jackman rom-coms not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody's buying Hugh Jackman in a rom.
No, I would love to see him do something completely different. I'd love to see him do some TV.
Okay.
I mean, he's done theatre. That's gone very, very well. He sells tickets, but I would love to see him do some TV.
Man, there's just I feel like every single person on this list I could tie to comic book stuff somehow.
Okay.
Sebastian Stan, who's
Yes.
going to be seen in Avengers: Infinity War, who's coming off the best performance of his career in I, Tonya. What do you What do you think of that assessment?
Yeah,
Do you agree?
It's fair. It's fair.
He has lined up Beat the Reaper, which is a great book. Have you ever heard of this book?
No.
It's a great book about like a mafia hitman turned doctor. So he goes from taking lives to saving lives, and then somebody from his old life recognizes him in the ER. And the shit hits the fan. So this was originally going to be a Leonardo DiCaprio project. He is still producing this.
Okay.
Gore Verbinski is attached to direct. I put it out there and was really excited because this project has been in the works for a long time. It went over to HBO to be a TV thing at one point. Now it's back to being a feature film, and it has a director and a star for the first time, not counting Leo, who sort of signed on in 2011 and always is attached to a zillion projects that are in development.
Yeah.
So this is the first real casting news and a director attachment. Do I think that this movie's going anytime soon? Not necessarily.
Okay.
I don't know how high up on the food chain it is over at New Regency, but I think this book is fantastic. I like Sebastian Stan's casting a lot. Yeah. I think he has a lot of potential, now that I've seen him in I, Tonya and I'm Dying Up Here, I believe it was. And I don't know. That's a promising one. Gore Verbinski, good director. He just needs better material. I think this is it.
Yeah, I mean, Gore Verbinski, I've kind of lost my faith in him a little bit, so I'd like to see him do a little bit with a bit of chutzpah.
What, do you have a favorite Gore Verbinski movie?
No.
I mean, he did The Ring, right? The Ring is good.
Yeah.
Rango's good.
Yeah.
I even like the what was it, The Weatherman with Nick Cage?
Actually, yes, that'd probably be my favorite.
Yeah, Gore Verbinski has done some good
Hugh
things.
Jackman, True Detective Season 4.
Sure. That sounds fucking cool to me. If HBO could get him, that would be awesome.
Semicolon The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Crossover.
Let's talk about Adam Sandler, bro.
Yes. What? Hey, wouldn't it be great if he teamed up with Jennifer Aniston again? What are the chances of that, Jeff?
I think it would. I think it would be great for both of them, and in fact, it is happening.
Holy shit,
so just go
amazing.
with it. Let it happen.
Okay, cool. Right.
Get it?
Yeah.
They're doing this movie Murder Mystery over at Netflix. Mm-hmm. This project has been around for God knows how long.
A long time.
Yeah, this thing has kicked around Hollywood as long as I have. And God, I can't even tell you all the names that I've heard for this over the years, but I think that Sandler and Aniston actually makes a decent pairing. He's basically a cop who takes his long-suffering wife on a vacation. They get embroiled in this murder mystery plot and get accused of murdering someone who they didn't, and they find themselves on the run, that kind of thing. I like Just Go With It. I think that they have good chemistry. What about you?
No.
Not buying it.
No. No, I didn't. I mean, I don't think I've enjoyed an Adam Sandler movie since Funny People.
Did you see the Meyerowitz stories?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
No, it's fine.
Simon hates Jews.
So much. I married one.
Married one.
Take that, Jews.
And hosts a show. Hosts a show with one.
Every single, playing the long game. Jews.
I was like, maybe you have to be Jewish to really fully appreciate the Meyerowitz stories.
No, I got it. I just didn't. Trust me. I understand Jewishness.
I'm just saying. I thought he was good in that.
Yeah.
I will always love Sandler. I mean, that's just, I came of age listening to his albums and watching him on SNL.
So did I, but I just, that didn't do it for me. I mean, I think the best thing he's done in the last 15 years are Funny People and the movie that he did with Don Cheadle about
Reign Over Me. Yeah. That's actually a really good movie.
An amazing movie. Yeah. That is incredibly overlooked.
Yes.
Incredibly overlooked and massively underappreciated.
Mike Binder's a great director.
It's so good. That's his best dramatic performance. Hands down.
Yes, I'll give you that. But I feel like this is a cut above some of the other stuff that he's been doing over there, like the Ridiculous Six.
It's a step up.
Yeah, I mean, him and Aniston, I think that has the potential to be really cute.
Yeah.
So, and this is the kind of stuff that Netflix should be making with him.
And also, she kind of needs something with.
Although I'm looking forward to him and Chris Rock in the week of. I mean, I like Sandler and Rock together.
Yeah.
I don't care how goofy it is. Okay, let's see. What else? Did you see this morning's news? Justin Kroll broke a story that Kate McKinnon...
Who's that?
Yeah, I know. Kate McKinnon is joining Danny Boyle's musical, which also has the star, do you watch EastEnders? You're a Brit.
I'm aware of EastEnders, yes.
Yeah. Himesh Patel. Do you know him?
Yes,
Is he on your radar? Himesh Patel is the star of Danny Boyle's new movie. It's him, Lily James, and now Kate McKinnon.
That is very interesting.
She's a good singer. I've liked her
very
stuff
good.
on SNL when she was singing like Hallelujah.
She's a very talented woman.
Yeah. What did you think? Did you like that Spy Who Dumped Me trailer?
Do you know what? That's a movie that I'm not entirely convinced by. I'm tickled,
We'll see.
but I'm not. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I felt the same way about Game Night when I saw the Game Night trailers. I was like, I don't know if that's really going to be a good movie, but actually,
And
it
that
was one of the best comedies I've seen in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Let's talk about Ready Player One. Did you see it this week?
Yeah, I did. I went to the premiere.
That's all right, Mr. Fancy Pants. Did you go to the party too?
No,
What did you
I'm
think?
not that Mr. Fancy Pants.
What did you think?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You also saw it on Monday night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Were you at the premiere?
I saw it in the Scrub Theater next door.
Oh, okay. No Scrubs, TLC. Yeah, no, I absolutely loved it. I mean, I was genuinely like giggling like a little twat.
Giggling like a little
Giggling
twat.
like a little twat. No, I was absolutely. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. I mean, having said that, I think some of the characters were underdrawn. It was
Yes.
really about the pop culture spectacle more than the drawing of the characters.
I feel like the pop culture stuff is getting so blown out of proportion. It's like it happens in the middle of these big action set pieces. It blows by. It's just like you blink and you miss it. When you're like, oh my god,
true.
in that trailer when it's like slow mo and Freddy Krueger comes out, right? That happens, except it's not in slow mo, and he's just like pops out, and then that's it. Like, I don't know.
But I mean, for me, I enjoyed. I was literally watching it, looking for in the set pieces, looking for all the Easter eggs, all the characters, and I can see myself buying the Blu-ray and freeze framing and looking for all the little bits.
Fanboys will have fun with that. I just
We
found
know
it
there were going to be
distracting.
think pieces on this
found it
until
distracting.
like Christmas. Really,
We're like, was
distracting.
that so and so? Was that character from that thing? And then, but you're not focused on the story at hand.
Hey, look, it paid tribute to cocktails.
Listen, I
So
liked
I'm on
it.
board.
I think it had an impossible job. I think that book was great. A lot of people have problems with
read
it.
it.
Drew McWeeney's review actually pointed out some real problems that he had with Ernie Klein's book. I thought it was terrific. I thought there was no way a movie was going to do it justice. This one honors its spirit. What do you think of the cast?
Fine, not amazing.
I thought that they were fine, not amazing as well. There's no real standouts, and again,
But it wasn't about the cast. I mean, it's almost like the casting took a backseat. It was more about the pop culture spectacle. By the way, Passover starts tonight. People are asking.
Oh.
Because you brought up the whole Jewish thing.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's no. I mean, the casting to me and the script and everything else was kind of that took a backseat. It was really an opus, pop culture opus out front.
Did you cry?
No.
So there's
Only when some of my friends were in the credits out of pride. That was about it.
There is one tear in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there is one tear in the movie, and I shed one tear at the exact moment that tear appears on screen. So I am crying at the same time that this character in the film is crying. So in that regard, I felt like Spielberg lands the emotional punch that he's trying to land there.
Yeah.
He is the master manipulator, and everything works up to that moment, and that moment worked for me, and I think that's why the movie worked for me on the whole.
Okay.
But I still have a hard time.
See, for me, I missed that.
Okay.
That
that's
didn't
fair.
land with me. Everything else did. But that didn't.
I liked it more when it was in live action than in the Oasis, which is the whole point of going to see the movie. I want to see what VR looks like and Spielberg's take on VR and all the limitless things you can do in VR.
Yeah.
And it's tough for me to form an emotional bond with a CG character. There are a bunch of great think pieces about this. So what do you think of like just the message of the movie? The message of the movie is go outside. Don't you think?
You see, a lot of people have said that, but I that's not what I took away from it. For me, the message that I took away was the fact that if you can be yourself inside that environment, be yourself outside that environment.
That's it. That's a good one too.
So
people are going to take
wasn't
away different
necessarily
things.
the whole take your specs off and go and have fun and play on the grass. It was a case of be okay with whoever you are inside your skin, and be that in the real world.
That is a very good
to
take,
me was
Simon.
the message that I took away.
Yeah.
And also, there's not enough ogre representation in Hollywood today.
Get them in the.
No, I'm kidding, but no,
Get ogres
seriously.
in the inclusion
No,
rider.
that to me, I mean, I think there are several messages in the movie. It's not a preachy movie. It's not a hey everybody, why don't we all just get along?
I just feel like it values human interaction.
Yeah, it does.
Over the sort of virtual reality connections.
And also, don't judge a book by its cover.
How's the box office looking?
It's 50 million that is looking for the weekend,
Which is much better than
35 million, which is kind of where it was tracking about a week ago.
So it started out at 45 to 55, then it dipped to 38 to 42, and now it looks like it's going to land somewhere in the middle of that initial projection.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reviews have helped because, I mean, you've obviously got the people who are poster whores who are like, oh my God, best film ever. Best Steven Spielberg movie in all time. Better than E.T. You know, those kind of people. Let's tackle that. In the Steven Spielberg kind of repertoire, where does this rank for you? Is it like top 5?
Ready Player One?
Yeah.
As like a top 5 Steven Spielberg movie?
Yeah.
No, you're fucking crazy. No.
No, see, for me, it's nestling around 5.
Wow, that is
Just
that is
inside,
that is a wild opinion to have. Are you insane?
No, I'm not.
Bro, what is your top 5?
Are we classing directing and producing? Or are
No,
we just
directing. I did my top 10 list yesterday. Ready Player One wasn't even in consideration
Really?
for that list. No.
Interesting.
No.
Interesting.
I mean, Jaws,
Yeah.
E.T.,
Yeah.
Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Close Encounters of the Third Kind,
Close Encounters
Minority
is 4th,
Report.
and then it's Ready Player One, above Saving Private Ryan.
Wow.
Not enough lols.
Wow. Kroll, are you hearing this? Kroll is, I guararantee you, pulling his fucking hair
Yeah,
out.
but
on
also
the
Kroll thought that Dunkirk was going to win Best Picture. What does he know? What does he know? No, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Hey, they're your rankings, but they're crazy.
It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie,
Hey,
guys.
speaking of rankings, what do you think
Yeah.
of the fucking brackets? The bracket craze that has swept film Twitter.
Hang on. Let me just. I've got my bracket down here. Hang on. There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Go to a wide shot,
They
folks.
are absolute.
That was the tiniest little middle finger
That
I've ever
was like
seen.
there you go. They've genuinely annoyed me this week.
Oh, I had fun doing them,
no.
but they annoyed me in the sense that, like,
They're fucking pointless.
no one knows how to build one.
Stop it.
No one knows how to build
No.
a bracket.
But also, they don't matter. Seriously, if you
No, but
are-
it's fun to like.
No, it's not fun. Fun is like taking a relaxing poo in the morning. That's satisfying.
That is
very
fun.
satisfying. But no, the brackets thing are absolutely pointless. They are weak editorial. They are completely just no. They are stupid.
They did bad ones. Too.
blighted
It was
my
like
timeline
it was
this
like
week.
96 Disney Pixar movies. Like that is not like the whole point of a bracket is that there's some hard cuts made to even
Yeah.
get on the bracket. I have to say, I did one. I made one, and I did a great job. Okay, I did Oliver Stone.
Why don't you pat yourself on the back?
You know what? I should have gotten more attention. The tweet should have gone viral. I don't know why Oliver Stone didn't comment on it himself. Speaking of directors commenting on things.
We'll get back to box office in a minute.
No. Give us the full box office report,
Okay,
big guy.
so we're looking at Ready Player One is going to do 50 million this weekend.
You said that.
Yeah. Pretty much, we're looking at Black Panther is going to be vying, oddly, potentially sort of second or third place for the Christian movie that we were talking about last week.
Wow, that thing's still going.
That is still going, and that's actually gathering steam.
Well, it's Easter weekend, too.
It is Easter.
Yeah.
It is Easter.
I forget.
And Passover.
I'm so wrapped up in my Passover world.
You Jews.
I forget it's Easter.
You own Hollywood. So we're looking at Ready Player One's going to own the weekend. We're looking at Ready Player, Black Panther coming in sort of 2 or 3. That's going to take, it's still going strong. It's only drop off like 31%. So it's still gathering some really strong box office.
Yep.
And then obviously, there's nothing really. I mean, I can only imagine he's going to be second place. And then we're looking at. I think God's Not Dead is another Christian movie that's coming out this weekend. That's possibly going to make top 5.
So much Jesus.
Yes, so much
he's
Jesus
all around
at the box
us.
office right now. What would Jesus do? But yeah, I mean, it's really going to be Ready Player One that's going to take this week. 50 million. I mean, it's over expectations that people were kind of predicting.
I think that's a fine number for this.
I think it might actually top that because word of mouth and I think anticipation is big. So I can see that taking maybe 55, possibly 60 this weekend. We'll see.
We will see. It has been a couple of down weeks for the box office, I feel like, so maybe it'll rebound strong.
Yeah, I mean, February was a really strong month because of Black Panther, but March was actually down considerably on year on year.
Pacific Rim, Tomb Raider, like these movies were like number 1 or number 2, but they weren't
fine, but they didn't really set any records.
Exactly.
So it's going to be interesting. But obviously, April's going to pick up because we've got a number of big movies picking up there. So.
What do you think about these Spielberg Netflix comments?
I mean, we briefly touched on this last week.
I know.
I disagree with his viewpoint. And I know that Neil
forgot that we got into it last week on the show.
Neil wrote a great piece on the tracking board.
Yeah.
What's the website address, by the way?
Tracking-board.com. Don't forget the hyphen.
Great. Neil Torrix. He wrote a really good piece on it. I mean, we both disagree with Steven Spielberg by the fact that he obviously said, if you've missed this story, the fact that Netflix movies shouldn't be considered for awards.
Basically saying Rachel Morrison didn't deserve her Oscar nomination because she shot a TV movie.
I don't think platform matters. I think if you're a feature and you're shot as a feature and you're presented as a feature, you should be equally open to that.
To me, it's one thing if it's a TV company making the movie. If it's HBO,
yeah.
I know it's not TV, it's HBO. But HBO, I get why something like Paterno, which I've seen and I liked, I understand why that's up for Emmys. Yeah. But Netflix is not just a TV company. Yes, it's on your TV, but they make movies that are as legitimate as anybody else's.
100%.
And
some Adam Sandler stuff.
Right. Yeah. So, if you actually care about this topic, if you're passionate about it, check out Neil's column on
It's a really good piece, actually. Really good piece.
Because it's just, with I changed Neil's headline, but it really is. Spielberg is embracing the future with this virtual reality stuff.
Yep.
So why can't he embrace Netflix, which is clearly the future of this industry?
Can I be really, really honest, though? I really hope that Hollywood doesn't follow on the trend of the whole let's do movies set in the VR space.
No.
This
is a special case.
This is a one-off. Let's not go, hey, everybody, we're
they
making
never
a movie
were.
in the VR
Spielberg
realm.
himself was down on VR. He's like, it's not a storytelling device. It's an experience, but you can't. It's tough to tell a story in VR. And I've seen so many fucking VR things, guys. They're not good.
They're not good. We also don't want the Lawnmower Man universe.
Ready Player One screenwriter Zach Penn is writing a ROM movie. I have nothing to say about this because I don't know what the fuck ROM is. You're a little bit older than me.
What?
Have you heard of this? What the fuck is ROM?
No idea.
Yeah. Next. Good luck to Hasbro. What do you think of these A24 rumors? Because I put a story out there yesterday.
Yeah.
So, okay, an hour before Ready Player One on Monday night, I'm fucking pumped. I left work early. I went over to my buddy's place. We're going to Ready Player One. We're going to go early. We're going to get great seats.
Where did you watch it, by the way?
At the Man 6 next door.
Oh, okay, next door.
So I get a text.
Right.
And the text is like, has the A24 Apple thing broken yet? And I'm like, what A24 Apple thing? Like, what are you talking about?
They both start with A.
And I went back to the source, and they explained that there's like basically a lot of rumors, a lot of hearsay going on that Apple's going to buy A24, which is a major story. That is not just like that's a casting tip that can wait until the morning. That is a massive business story that would be chased by the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg.
Yep.
So I got on that pretty quickly and nearly posted something on Monday night. Now, yesterday, Deadline and myself ended up publishing, by according to insiders, this deal is not happening. They may be discussing a partnership on certain projects, but they're not acquiring the company outright. That said, I have heard A24 is for sale. I've heard that Amazon made them an offer that A24 turned it down, that they wanted something higher, and Amazon was reluctant to go higher for a variety of reasons, including the fact that, according to two sources that I have, A24 operates on a loss.
Okay.
There's a certain ceiling with indie movies. Lady Bird is their biggest grosser, and that made $49 million domestic. So it's like, is that, what does that business really look like, essentially? Because they picked up a lot of movies, and the movies do nothing, whether it's like Swiss Army Man, and that grosses like $1 million, and you're paying $2 million to acquire, and then sinking God knows how much in P&A and all that into it. So, I don't know. What do you make of A24 as a potential acquisition target?
I mean, I right now they're not sitting particularly strong. I think they came out of the gate looking really good. And I think, similar to STX, I just don't... You
don't think A24 is looking good? What do you mean? They just won Best Picture like a year ago, and then they had Lady Bird, their biggest success.
But like you say, a lot of their movies don't make a huge amount of money.
Well, that is true. I would say the company's in the best shape that it has been, which is why a sale right now it's the perfect time, because the company is riding this wave.
It is, but I don't think it's something that if it's an investment, I would see it completely being enveloped by another company, and it would be a subsidiary as a kind of like the equivalent of a Fox Searchlight.
Right, or a Focus Features.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't see it as being we want to buy A24 because it's an ascendant property.
Maybe that is the discussion that they're having with Apple right now. I just feel like
it would allow them to then get into theatrical, which is something that Apple is currently not doing. If Apple did buy it,
right,
and they wanted to then move into releasing theatrical, as opposed to VOD, that would be the way that they would do it.
You'd think Apple would figure out how to distribute its own movies, but I suppose you could just use A24 to do that with.
But it's not really going to be a big. It's not as if they've got their own huge money-earning properties. You are going to get, it's going to be low spend, moderate yield.
They have a nice like 40 or 50 film library at this point. A24 does. And I just think that A24 makes the kind of stuff that would appeal to people who would cut the cord and sign up for an Apple streaming service. I also think that Apple, in turn, would give A24 a bunch of cash.
I would disagree on that. You see, I think a lot of the people who buy into that kind of movie making, people like myself, you like to still, they're people who are die-hard, they like to buy the hard format. They like to buy the steelbooks. They like to buy the Blu-rays. They like to have a physical format. I think you would see definitely return on a streaming service, but I think if you're going to do that, I would personally look at creating a hard format service rather than there's a couple of sort of more cinema. There's Filmstruck. Is it Filmstruck?
Right. Yeah.
Filmstruck kind of does that. I would go down the Criterion route and buy it as a hard format property where you could build around the film and create additional content rather than do the streaming. Personally, that would be the business model I would go with the A24.
We will see what happens, whether the company is officially on the block or not. We will have to wait and see. Let's talk about some trailers that popped this week.
Cool, okay.
Did you see House with a Clock in its walls?
I did.
What did you think?
Really good.
That looked really good.
For me, that kind of came out of nowhere as a movie. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really kind of aware of it even in production.
As soon as they got Kate Blanchett, I was like, oh, this movie is something to pay attention to, honestly. I like it. That is from Eli Roth.
Yeah.
It'll be his second film this year.
Yeah.
After Death Wish. I think it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like, what I had sort of hoped a Goosebumps movie would look like. It's funny that it's, Jack Black again, obviously, and a little boy. Kodachrome, did you watch that one, the Netflix movie?
I did.
That was well liked, I thought, at Toronto.
It was.
How'd you think it looked?
Interesting. Didn't excite me in any particular way.
No, it's not that kind of movie.
It's kind of intriguing.
It's something you watch with your folks, on a weeknight. I just always like the premise for Kodachrome. There's only, they can only develop the film a certain way, and this place is closing, and they got to take this road trip to do it because, these photos mean a lot to them.
Yeah.
So it's a little sentimental, but I like that cast. Ed Harris looks like he gives a really good performance.
It's the cast and the idea that kind of sold it.
Margot Robbie's Terminal. Did you see that one?
I didn't see that trailer, although I have got a screener sitting in my inbox
Really?
today.
Let me
So,
know how you think it is.
very
'cause
excited
I think
about
it
that.
looks terrible. It looks like a bad Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of hopeful because I like the idea, and I just think from what I've heard from people, I didn't see the trailer this week, that I think it's going to deliver more than the trailer is kind of giving away. So I'm tickle me intrigued.
I could watch anything with Margot Robbie in it, to be honest. But honestly, it's the presence of Mike Myers in this gives me significant pause. I don't think that's a good sign.
The Dexter Fletcher. Have you seen the Rachel Papers, by the way?
No, you always bring up the Rachel Papers.
I keep talking about the Rachel Papers.
No.
You should. I'm going to buy you the DVD. I'm going to make you
Please
watch that.
do.
That and Twin Town.
Do you watch Westworld?
I've never seen Westworld.
No, I stopped watching halfway through the first season. I just like that heart-shaped box.
Never
trailer.
seen Westworld. Never seen Game of Thrones.
Dude, that's why we host this podcast, because we're peas in a pod. The Darkest Minds. Did you see that one?
Yes.
Did you think it looked good? I thought it showed some promise. You know, it was obviously done on a budget. It looks like something that could be in the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hugh Nelson. I think this is going to be a hit for her. And then the last one, what?
Just for me, I mean, the whole YA thing, I just want to see something a bit different done in that category. And
Teenagers got to see something. They got to go out on Friday night and see
stuff out
something.
there for teenagers. There's a
You
lot
can
of
see
stuff
that
out
again.
there. You know, there's a lot of, Ready Player One, you know, Black Panther. There's a lot of stuff out there. 2 films. A lot.
You got to give the kids their YA movies.
But they're not turning out for the YA movies. That's
I think
the
this
problem.
one sounds like a smart one, though.
Okay.
I'm gonna reserve judgment. Did you see the trailer for First Reformed?
No, I didn't.
Dude, everybody says that movie's amazing with Ethan Hawke
Okay.
as a priest who's like considering becoming a suicide bomber. Yeah,
That old chestnut.
yes.
Another one.
Another one of
my
these
God.
movies. How many priests can we
wait
see
for an
blow
Ethan
themselves
Hawke
up?
terrorist movie, and then 2 come along at what, Nate?
I thought that looked great,
Awesome.
and then last night I wanted to mention that I saw Andre the Giant, that documentary, and it was
I saw the trailer for
yeah.
that. That genuinely
it was
looks
really
very, very
good. It's funny. I cried. You know, it's sad. Obviously,
You cried?
Yeah, I cried. The big man. He's 40. He died at 46. It's a sad story. When you hear his brother and his best friend talk about him, but then you hear about the stories on the set of The Princess Bride and his legendary flatulence. It was pretty damn good. Check it out on HBO in a couple of weeks. And then we have just some news bits and bobs here.
Bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Tidbits.
Dr. Doolittle set up a gigantic voice cast.
Huge
I mean,
cast.
if you were not part of the voice cast in Dr. Doolittle, your agent fucked up. I'm not even going to recap the names.
I'm not on there.
Yeah.
Find my agent.
If you're an actor out there, I would definitely be talking to your agent if you didn't make it
it's
into
the
this
Harry
movie.
Potter of voice cast.
My girl Gina Rodriguez,
Yep.
lining up the Carmen Sandiego live action movie. She was, already going to play Carmen Sandiego in animated form on Netflix. Now they're just like, we have Gina. She likes this character. Why don't we just make a movie with her, a real one? I love that. You?
Yeah.
I'm obviously tight with Gina. I loved Carmen Sandiego as a kid. I think she's going to crush it. I think this is going to be a great role for her. And I only wish, if only, the same thing could happen to Oscar Isaac, who's voicing Gomez in the Addams Family movies. If we could get a live action Addams Family with Oscar, that would be awesome.
He would nail that.
Gina has another Netflix movie. It was a big week for Gina.
What?
She has another Netflix movie that starts shooting next week called Someone Great. That got co-stars this week, DeWanda Wise and Brittany Snow. It's interesting. DeWanda Wise is the actress who dropped out of Captain Marvel.
Ooh.
Due to a scheduling issue, so Captain Marvel just started shooting.
Yep.
She couldn't do it. It was a scheduling issue.
Okay.
This movie, Someone Great, starts shooting next week, and she can do it. Interesting?
She could have popped between the 2 sets.
No, honestly, what I think is that Someone Great is the kind of movie that would shoot and could be done by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Could be done by the end of April. And it's, I get the impression that Captain Marvel is going to be a long shoot, probably goes, through May and June.
Yeah.
Who God knows when she would have been needed on set, and she has her other Netflix show. She's got to have it. And then lastly, in Gina news, she's doing Miranda July's new movie.
Yes.
That sounds really cool.
It does.
A heist movie with Evan Rachel Wood from that show that neither of us watch.
Yep.
And Richard Jenkins, Oscar nominee, and Deborah Winger.
I love Richard Jenkins.
He is the man.
He's the nicest guy.
I love the idea of him like doing a heist movie too.
Yeah, I'd like to see him play a shit.
Just a real shit.
Not an actual shit. But
Right,
no,
not like
I'd
the
love
poop
to see
emoji
him.
and the emoji
that'd
movie
be,
too.
Emoji movie too. That's not happening anytime soon. No, I'd love to see him play a bad guy. I'd love to see him as a villain.
Yeah.
I would love to see him like in a Marvel movie or a DC movie. I would love to see him as a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. An evil scientist, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
James Wan teaming with Roy Lee to produce a Tommyknockers movie.
Yes.
Did you ever see the original Tommyknockers
did.
miniseries?
Yeah.
I liked it as a kid.
I did.
Yeah, that was like one of the, something scary that I
Consider it
used
the
to watch.
Langoliers.
Exactly, the
Which
Langoliers,
was
that's right.
Fucking awful.
Man, all those 90s miniseries
that
based on
was
Stephen
terrible.
King. Reed Moreno directing The Keeper of the Diary.
Yep.
Which is about Anne Frank's father sort of trying to publish her diary and the brave female editor who decided to actually do it. I think this is a nice get for Reed Moreno.
Yeah.
She's definitely one of the biggest up-and-coming female filmmakers out there. And I like that they're giving this movie to a woman. Kenneth Branagh was previously attached to direct and star. Scarlett Johansson joining Jojo Rabbit, Taika Waititi's new movie.
I was not aware of that until I saw the headline.
Yeah.
So what is that film about?
So it's about a boy with some issues
Right.
who has an imaginary friend who looks like Adolf Hitler because it's like set during World War II. And Taika Waititi is going to play this imaginary friend, but it's like a nice Adolf Hitler, which is it's weird to say that as a Jew.
Yeah, it's like,
He's like a
That is good
goofy,
points.
charming imaginary friend. Who,
Yeah.
I don't know if the kid just calls him Adolf Hitler. But anyways, his mother is hiding a young Jewish girl in the walls.
Right.
And so he strikes up with a friendship with this Jewish girl, and maybe it's like, oh, Jews make better friends than imaginary friends. I don't know what the message of the movie is, but
Imaginary Hitlers.
I trust Taika Waititi at this point, and obviously getting ScarJo is a real coup.
Another one of those
for this
movies.
movie.
Yeah, no, we just...
Another Jew in the
You
wall
wait
movie.
for one imaginary Hitler movie.
That was the
And then
alternate
all of a
title.
sudden, they all come along at once.
Jesus.
No, Jesus isn't in it.
Different movie.
Different movie.
Rob
That's the
Gronkowski.
sequel,
I broke
yeah.
this one that he's joining Joe Carnahan's new movie, Boss Level.
Yep.
Which sounds like an Edge of Tomorrow type of thing, but with Frank Grillo. Hopefully.
Do you know what? When I saw you tweet about that this week, we don't have enough Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillo's the fucking man. I've thought so since Warrior.
And
So.
I would expect him to pop up in Infinity War. Because if you remember
Crossbones?
last year, when I spoke to him at Halloween Horror Nights on the red carpet, there is something happening with Crossbones, so I would not rule out a Crossbones appearance.
We have a few more bits and bobs. We have about 5 minutes left in the show.
Bits and bobs.
Last Friday, Amy Adams, Justin Crowe reported Amy Adams is in talks to join True American. So I think she's definitely in. I think Ruffalo's definitely in. I think Kumail is the one who could be touch and go just with his schedule. He's also trying to sneak Stuber in there.
Yep.
We talked about that last week. But I don't know. If I was True American, I might wait a couple weeks for Kumail to be available.
Can I just say, Don Draper in the chat room just said he spat his whiskey on his keyboard. It's 10:30 in LA.
Yeah.
Why are you drinking whiskey at 10:30? I mean, I like a drink, but dude,
Do we know
it's
he's in
not even
LA?
fucking lunchtime. I don't know what time zone he's in, but I mean, kudos.
It's Friday. It's Good Friday.
It's a fucking great
Anyways,
Friday for Don.
I guess so. Amy Adams and Mark Ruffalo, though. That's a hell of a cast for that movie. Tiffany Haddish joining the Lego Movie sequel. Haddish. Kevin Bacon teaming up with Blumhouse again on You Should Have Left, which sounds like The Shining. Which, I don't want to spoil anything, but you may be seeing some of The Shining this weekend.
Can I just say that genuinely satisfied me?
It was amazing.
I was
great
not.
sequence.
I was not expecting that. And no spoilers, but if you go and see a certain movie that opens this weekend, you're going to enjoy it. I was not expecting that. That was not something that was revealed
Right, it's not in
at
the book.
all.
It's not in the book.
Not in the book.
It's Blade Runner in the book. So,
Tickled.
that
Tickled I
was
was.
perfect.
Even my wife, who came to the premiere with me, did I mention I went to the premiere? Even she was like, "Holy shit!" Nice play, Spielberg.
3 more. Michael Showalter directing the Jessica Chastain, Octavia Spencer holiday comedy. He also signed a deal with Annapurna TV. I love Showalter. I love The Big Sick. I liked his movies before that. I'm so glad to see that he's really breaking through in the mainstream and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem's going to play Cortez in a big epic miniseries for Spielberg. Spielberg was just all over the news this week. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Javier Bardem in something really good, so I'm hoping this is it.
100% agree. 100% agree.
He's sort of slipped
Although
a little.
I do find it quite funny when Spielberg was talking about TV and small screen, and I when I spoke to him recently, he was like, it's all about the big screen, and then obviously he is dipping his toe in the small screen arena. And he's saying he's only got 2 more big movies. I mean, I'm just kind of like...
2 more big movies? He said what?
He said he was doing 2 more movies. I mean, I don't believe that. But
what, like period?
Yeah.
No,
I don't.
Those comments are misinterpreted. He's going to do like 2 next year. He's going to do 2 next year, I believe.
Wow. He's lazy.
Not 3, Steven? What the fuck?
Fuck.
And last but not least, I did want to end the show on this note. Diane Nelson. See that?
Yep.
Leaving, a leave of absence from DC. I hope everything is okay with her. People said that she takes some time to deal with some personal stuff, including recovering from back surgery. Mm-hmm. So we wish her well in that recovery. Yeah.
Something breaking in the chat. Colin Trevorrow is set to direct Jurassic World 3. Apparently.
What, did that just hit?
Yeah. Breaking news.
I mean,
you close your laptop, dude. I mean, you missed this shit.
Does that surprise me? I mean, it's like J.J. Abrams. They're just bringing him back for the 3rd one. I mean, Colin obviously lost that job to JJ, the Star Wars 9 gig. So maybe he's just like, I got to get back to the tentpole filmmaking. I have this, I know this world as well as anybody. Why would we have anybody else but me do it?
I'm really excited about the new Jurassic World movie. I'm like pissed off.
I am too, but I think Bayona's a much better director.
Well, we'll find out in just a couple of months.
Bayona's legit, so.
Yeah. But there you go.
That'll do it for the show, right?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, or are you good?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us today, Simon. I'm glad you could make it eventually.
Thank you.
I'll just tell my staff there's a reason. You're the reason I'm late an hour to work. Yeah, really good.
What, do you do any work?
Really? I got stories to break, baby.
Have you?
Got a couple.
Justin takes care of that.
I do.
And then you bitch about it.
Dun, dun, dun. Right on brand for me.
Thank you. Hey, what's the tracking board's website address, Jeff?
Tracking-board.com.
Okay.
Get it tattooed on your hand
you
so
could
you
get
don't
a variety
forget
and
it.
hear some of the stories first, though.
Where? just a few.
Just a few.
Where can the good folks find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ShowbizSimon.
Where you can find all of Simon's hot scoops about production start dates.
I've got a couple of hot scoops in the next couple of weeks, by the way.
Yeah. And I'm Jeff Snyder.
Hey, Expendables 4.
Editor-in-Chief of the Tracking Board.
Expendables 4. It's
at
going to happen.
Snider. Thanks for watching the Popcorn Talk Network. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe.
Tell
Have
your
a great
friends.
weekend.
Some people love
Jesus
this shit.
is coming back, guys. Bye.
Yeah. Hey, happy Passover!
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.